Hi, I'm Donna Judd, and welcome to Donna and Friends. This week we've got a jam-packed show, as always, and first we're going to catch up with the police department and check out the Safety Center tour. Let's move on from that. I know we talked a little bit about the other area where you would invest or probe and investigate someone, but let's talk about the dispatch area, which is something to me totally amazing from what currently you're coming from, what you're currently coming from.
This is probably one of my favorite rooms in the whole building. Knowing what the staff has worked in and the conditions that they've worked through, while albeit served them well, this is going to be something that they've deserved. The men and women that work back there, they work in a very small area. It's actually an old jail cell. It is protected for them. It is basically a hardened room or a storm shelter that's in the old building, but this one is as well. Obviously, this room here is going to be a lot larger than the room that they're currently in. We have 2 complete stations that are in there, and those stations have the city computer. They have the radio console mounted on them. They also will have OLED's monitor that's on there, which is our state information computer, as well as 911. So we'll have 2 fully functional stations that will be able to do that. During our busier times, especially towards the weekend, we try to run 2-man shifts in there because of just the nature of the weekend and then how busy we are. So that does allow. In the other one, it was really not conducive to run 2 people in there, although you could do it. You kind of fought over each other to try to get phones answered,
I
take
would be
911.
impressed if 2 people are in there at the same time. I've been back there several times in the past, and wow, no comparison.
Absolutely no comparison. The equipment that's in there, as far as furniture goes, we have some state-of-the-art dispatch consoles that are specifically designed for dispatch. They are able to be elevated and lowered depending on the height of the dispatcher, as well as if that dispatcher's sitting down or wants to stand. So that's another feature that we have. One nice thing I like to tell everybody about those consoles were purchased by Payne County 911 Board. So that did not cost the taxpayers any money, and that's a benefit to the department. It's a benefit to the citizens that we were able to draw that money from them, and that's something that we're very appreciative, and we appreciate Payne County 911 stepping up and taking care of that.
Big thank you to them. Wow.
Absolutely. And they also agreed to put us in a second 911 station, so we have, they paid for all that equipment as well. So we do have a 3rd station in there, another console that they did pay for. But that is just an overflow station. It actually sits back here on the west wall, and it is simply there for if we have an emergency or if we have major power outage, ice storm, something where we're fielding a ton of calls from the public. We can station just one person there to do nothing but answer phones, take down addresses, while the dispatch staff themselves continue to work on the emergency that may be at hand.
Fabulous.
So it is a very nice place. And again, this is secure. It does have a 4-inch concrete cap on it. It has a steel subframe, so it is a safe room for them as well. Plus, it has complete ballistic grade glass all the way around it. So the men and women that are back there are very safe. Unlike the booking area that we have now where somebody could jump over the counter, there's now a pass-through port. Both sides of it have a video camera on it, so obviously one side out in booking, one side in dispatch. So if we find any kind of contraband or anything that may be illegal, it's all captured on camera, so we hold the evidentiary value on that as well.
Excellent. Now, when we come through the cell area, another thing I want to note that you did not have in the prior facility, and it's also available to the people working in the command center here, is a kitchen, a real one.
Well, we had one in the other one, not near as nice or as big as this one, but we do. One of the things that we are required to do, because we are a 10-day holding facility, we have to feed 3 meals a day. We have to feed breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and so we want them to have a space to be able to provide that. We did add a fully functioning stove, which we have not had in the other buildings since pretty much as far as I can remember. Dishwasher for them to do dishes. Most generally, that we don't give dishes to the prisoners, but we do. They do have to eat. The dispatch staff, as well as our own patrol guys, will come in and make food from time to time, and this is going to allow them to be able to do that. So beside refrigerator, we have an ice maker now, which and is going to be a big benefit, because before we always had to go get ice from the fire department. Now we can do it in-house. So again, it's just a lot of nice features in there, and we're very appreciative of that area.
One last thing I want to speak about within this area, and it's just before we kind of go back out into an outer area, is the fact that you do have a visitation area.
We do. That's one of the features that we added in this. We added a prisoner visitation area. Half of it is on the secure side of the detention side, while the other half is in the admin side. So if we have a citizen that wants to come and see a loved one that may have found himself in jail, that they can simply come up here. We'll make the arrangements. We'll move the inmate into that area. We can actually secure them into the door. It's all detention quality. And then at that time, we can come up and get the person wanting to visit and bring them down. Before, in our old jail, we had to basically go through, shut all the bean holes, make sure that there was nobody else back there, or if there were, kind of make sure that they understood that there were other people back there that they're going to be talking in front of, and then go back there. This way they can go in there. It's a private area.
And
It's still
secure.
videoed.
Right.
It's still video, but not audioed. We still
Right.
want to respect
So-
attorney-client privilege and everything.
Right,
So
very secured area.
absolutely.
Now, once we come through this area, then what do we look at in these last couple of rooms?
Obviously, we have a radio server room just outside of that door. That's where pretty much the heart and soul of our electronic operations happens at, inside of there. Just to the north of that room is our soft interview room. This is a room that we haven't had before. This is a room that we've got set up basically similar to a living room setting. It has a small love seat in it and chair, some end tables, and ultimately we have a TV in there. This is an area that we want to bring our crime victims in. Instead of bringing them into our interrogation room, which is more sterile, we want to bring them into some place that we can kind of ease what's going on with them and calm the situation, whether it be children or whether it be a victim of sexual assault or some form of crime. We want to be able to bring them in there. And plus, this room is also audio videoed, so we can do our interviews in there and still have it recorded, still be able to capture and come back and utilize that as well later on. So that's one of the nice features. And then our last room is our report taking room. We get a lot of walk-in reports from the public that want to come in and just make a complaint or a issue that they may have with the police department. And before, we had to bring them into the squad room, and which is where all the officers are doing their work. It's where we may have sensitive information hung up about suspects that we may be watching, where we may have house watches that we've got up for people going on vacation. And those are not things that we want, the general public to be seeing.
Right.
So this is an area that we're going to take now. Our people that are coming in on walk-in and doing reports, we'll take them in there. We'll go ahead and do our report there. The officer can come up and meet them, go in that room, take down all the information, start their investigation from right there, and then be able to escort the public back out of the building once they're finished. So again, it's basically going to keep our squad room area back here where the officers are doing their formal investigations and their reports and stuff. It's going to keep that more private with them, allow them to be able to share more information on potential suspects, as well as anything that they may have going, whether it be house watches or other items like that.
And when we get out of this area again, we do not have access to this area.
That is
So we're
correct.
back into
The common area.
common area. And one last room very quickly is a room that I was really impressed with, I've got to say.
That is the training room. That is one of the new features for both departments. It's a room that seats 32. We can bring training classes in for whether it be police officers, fire, or joint. We're looking at bringing leadership classes in to do command staff, and then we can get this even available to the public for different events if need be. State-of-the-art electronic equipment in there, all set up, complete
Little drop-down
operations. Got the drop-down
screen.
screen. It's an area that we're very excited about. This area, the way I look at it, this area is going to bring good things to Cushing. If we host good classes here, it's going to boost not only our department or the fire department, the public safety center, but it's also going to bring some small revenue into the city. If we hold a 3 or 4 day class, we're going to be able to bring people in that are going to need hotels. They're going to be wanting to stay at our hotels. They're going to be eating at our restaurants, and they're going to be buying fuel right here in Cushing. So, not a big impact, but it is a little bit of impact, and every bit of impact
Absolutely.
helps. So
Big plus for the community. and something that really spells this is a community safety center.
It is a community safety center. And, without the citizens, without them getting out and voting for it, we would not have this. So, last thing I want to say is a huge thank you from my staff to them for allowing this vote to pass and for allowing us to have this nice building.
Well, Tolly, I'm excited for you. Congratulations
Thank you very much.
for you and on behalf of all the officers that work so hard to keep our community safe. It excites me, and I know it does other citizens of the community, to have something that we know leads us into the future. Thanks for the tour.
Thanks
you. For your time.
Thank you.
And there you have it, our brand new safety center. Wow. We've toured through the fire department side, and now we've toured through the police department side. I'd really like to thank both police chief and fire chief for letting us do that and taking their time out to do it. We'll be back with more, so stay tuned.